Okay, so all the pencil has been transferred, and I'll just peel this off to reveal the design underneath. There we go. So as you can see, it's actually on backwards, so that means that now when I carve this out, it's going to print the right way around. Now, normally I would just go straight in and start carving from here, but because I've got text and I want this text to be really quite sharp, I'm actually going to go over the text with a permanent pen, and then that makes sure that when I'm carving I don't smudge anything with my hand, and I'll be able to make sure that I've got a really nice sharp font there. So I actually like to use the favourite pastel pip pens. I think I'll just select the small and the fine here. In fact, the small might be better. Yeah, it's a bit better. And literally just go over the text, just the outside edge, you don't need to go on the inside edge, using the permanent marker. And that way it doesn't matter if my knuckle goes over the text whilst I'm carving, I won't actually smudge these lines of text. So I'm going to continue doing that, and then I'll come back when I finish the rest of the text. Okay, all the text has now been outlined in permanent marker, so I can be sure that it won't smudge when I'm actually working on the piece. And I would recommend that if you've got very fine detail in your piece and you want to make sure you don't smudge it, that you do that for any fine detail as well. These pieces around here you'll see I've just left in pencil, and I'll actually be doing bits of detail in these pieces a bit later on, but I'll just do that all by eye a bit later on. Okay, so now we can get on to carving, and I'll talk a bit about the tools that I use first of all. I have a selection of different lino tools here. These are pretty much all the same handles, but obviously I'll just have them in all my different tools on a separate handle just for ease of use. The one that I use the most is actually this V tool, and I'll see if I can focus in on it, but probably not very well. It's actually a V-shaped blade with a little line sloping along it, so I can actually get the very finest detail with the very point of that blade there. Now these blades I found originally many years ago, we're talking 20 years ago, in York, in a company called Make Your Mark, but I haven't found them there for a long while. I've actually found them in the last year or so at a calligraphy company called J&T Blackman, and they supply them there, so if you have a look for those, then you'll be able to find this particular point. I have another V blade that's slightly larger, and this point actually goes backwards. This one I use for the fine detail work and actually outlining. This one I use to take away larger areas of carving material. And similarly, this one here is actually a U point, and again I use this to take away larger areas of carving material. For very fine intricate detail I use an X-Acto scalpel knife, and this one's knife point number 11. And this particular knife I actually use to chop up my carving material with, along with a metal ruler. This one, when I've finished, I'll probably just chop along down there. In fact, I might just do that now, and it will just be a bit easier, because then I won't have to take out all the excess of carving material whilst I'm working on it. So to do that, I literally just take my metal ruler, and don't need to go through the carving material all in one go, take several passes at it. 3 passes, 4, and I'm actually through. That's that done, and now I've actually got a nice border for my carving block, and I might actually work up to that border and leave the border in just as an extra detail, which I shall show you later. Okay, so to get started carving, doesn't matter where you want to start. I tend to start on an easier bit first, just to make sure that I'm in the mood for it and I'm well away. So the best thing to say about carving is don't dig too deep. If you go into your carving like this, you're actually going to dig out far too much carving material. You're going to make life really hard for yourself, and it's not going to come out very nicely. You'll probably find that you have jaggy edges because your knife is actually going far too deep and it's cutting the edges up. So what you actually want to do is to go very shallow. And I don't know if you can see there, but I've literally just picked up a very tiny amount of carving material with my knife, and you can actually see the angle that I'm working at there. It's very shallow. And you just push gently along, and you actually move the carving block if you're going around circles rather than moving the knife. It's actually a lot easier to do it this way, and you've got a lot more control. And I find sometimes that if you're working on a particularly on a surface that's actually got a bit of grip, if you actually put the carving material that you're working on onto a piece of paper, then you can slide it around a lot more. But as you can see, I'm actually going round. The carving tool isn't actually... Sorry about that slight break there, my memory card filled up. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah, the carving tool isn't actually moving when I'm actually moving things, moving the carving block. It's actually me moving the carving block round, and the tool stays pretty much where it is. So now I'm actually coming back the way. Just pick it up here, there we go. And again, you'll see that I'm moving the carving block around, and this tool is staying pretty much in the same position. Right, so what I would do now then is actually go around the entire carving block using this tool and going round the outside edges of every single piece, making sure that I've got everything outlined. So that's going to probably take me a couple of hours to go through all that, so I'm going to get on with that, and I shall be back later with tips on how to actually add a little bit of detail into your carvings, and also how to clear away the rest of the carving material.